Hey, Mike Callahan here. Wanted to make a quick video. Absolutely shot, lost my voice just at the airport. Got back from GIE 2019 and Expo. So at the airport here, waiting to leave Louisville, Kentucky. But a couple things that hit me. First of all, I just want to say what's up to all the new friends that we made along the way, especially the social media influencers on Facebook and YouTube. The rally was phenomenal. Naylor and the whole team, John, Ring-a-Ding, Blake Albertson, just to name a few, but had just an amazing time. But it got me thinking. I want to make a quick video about that. The power of video and social media and why it's so important. Major book that I would highly suggest reading if you haven't read it yet is Marcus Sheridan's They Ask You Answer. And Marcus puts a great spin on video and how to actually use it effectively in your business. It's something that myself and some other folks in my inner circle like Garrett Matthews and Chad Cranston have been doing for 4 or 5 years. And it's been instrumental in our business. But the premise of it is based around some statistics done by Google and Forrester Research. Forrester Research is one of the prominent research companies in the United States. And this was originally done in a business-to-business research study. So that covers your commercial clients, lawn care, home cleaning. And then it was also done in a B2C, so business consumer. So these stats that I'm going to break down here real quick and how to put them into play in this video are applicable to residential as well as commercial. But the main thing is that there is this thing called zero moment of truth. And what zero moment of truth is the first time you realize your potential lead or client exists. And the study that happened from Forrester Research and Google is statistically right now, they're saying that about 70% of all buying habits and decisions are made before zero moment of truth. That's before you even know they exist. So where I think that video comes into play is going out and addressing the concerns and questions your future consumers have. I'm going to suggest that all businesses are the same. None of us are different. And before you absolutely put me on blast, where I'm going with this is, yes, we may be doing things differently. We may be charging services differently. We may have different levels of service. But at the end of the day, based on the statistics that 70% of buying habits are made before zero moment of truth, before we ever know the consumer exists, we really are all in the game, service businesses at least, and pretty much all businesses, going out and getting and buying the consumers or leads trust. So we're in the game of gaining trust before we know who our potential customer is, and that's where video comes into play. So by making these videos and addressing the questions that your future consumers have around your service in a purely educational way with nothing to do with sales, that's how you're going to win the game and be a disruptor in your market. That's what we did in my company. That's what Garrett continues to do in his company as well as mine here, making these videos. But we're talking about the questions that people have and answering them factual with no sales spin, and becoming the knowledge and topic expert. And people also want to know about comparisons. They want to know about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the most powerful things are answering the questions that contractors don't want to answer. And that includes price. Are you addressing price on your website up front? I'm not suggesting you're down to the penny, but maybe a base price and some different prices to overcome the question, because people are going on your website or hitting social media and looking for how much your services cost, what's included, what's not included. So I highly recommend addressing price. It doesn't have to be the exact price, because it does depend, and I get that, but it will be a game changer. You're going to start to gain the trust of your future consumer. The biggest objection I see, especially when I'm on a road at events like this or speaking engagements and we're talking about this, is everybody's concerned about what your competitors will do. So your competitors will find out your pricing. Well, if we honestly ask ourselves right now, you know what your competitors are charging approximately. So why are we as contractors generally worried about the competition, the people taking money out of our pockets instead of the potential new consumers who are actually going to put money in our pockets? So great book, Marcus Sheridan, They Ask You Answer. This is nothing new. I learned about this concept through lifecycle marketing, through a marketing CRM platform I was with probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I was introduced to lifecycle content marketing. I believe Marcus was over another different platform and learned about it there. But at the end of the day, service businesses are in the business of gaining trust of their future consumers that they don't know yet exist. And the only way to do that is to address price, common fears, who the best in the market is. And yes, this is something we did in the snow removal company. There's nothing worse than getting a bid to a really high-end commercial client, and they're like, hey, Mike, we really like you, but if we don't choose you, who would you suggest in your market? And I'll be honest, we didn't address this question up front. We skirted and said, we really don't know who in the market would be the best option outside of us, which obviously we did. Next thing we thought is, well, maybe we would just suggest the worst competition. But what that would do is absolutely lose all the trust we've gained through this process so far. So what we did is we had 3 of our major competitors that played in the same sandbox, and we actually referred them to the top 3 people. But by doing so and them realizing that we actually were honest and trustworthy doing so, even if our price was higher, the new consumer, potential consumer, would usually choose us as the preferred contractor. So just really encouraged about all the guys and girls there at GIE plus Expo with social media, making videos, building content. And my thought is, how can we take that video process to ask the questions and overcome any of the industry projections of our industry to make ourselves different than our competitors by addressing up front, differentiating ourselves, and hopefully creating a little higher perceived value so we can sell at a higher price and shortening that sales cycle. So video is king right now. Other product you may want to look into is Rev, R-E-V, taking that video transcript, taking this video for maybe like a Facebook Live, putting it on YouTube, getting all that embed code with the video transcript and getting it on your website. So search engine optimization, when Google goes in and you answer a question, the question that you're answering should be your headline, your topic headline, and then in the description, the transcript of this video. And within the next few days, this will be on my Simple Grill page, because that's what we're doing, and that's where consumer buying habits are going. But that stat from Marcus Sheridan was pretty blown away. That 70% of all buying consumer, 70% of buying decisions are influenced before zero moment of truth, before you know that client exists. Probably about 5 years ago, that was probably 50% ballpark, and 10 years ago, it was about 20 to 25%. So if you believe the stats of Google and Forrester Research, one thing we are positively be certain of is the buying decision before the consumer ever contacts you. That number is never going backwards, it's going up. So if you want to be an early adopter, especially in the lawn care or home cleaning industry, and dominate and disrupt your market, this is a way to go at it. I was just hanging out with Jonathan Potoshnik of the Lawn Care Millionaire here at GIE as well. Very, very smart man, an influencer of his own with his YouTube videos, but in his company City Turf, he was a disruptor 10, maybe 15 years ago, dominating that Frisco and Plano market and McKinney out in Texas. And by doing so, he became the expert in his market by doing just that well before there was any books or anything about that. So a lot of service companies aren't doing it. So comments and questions about this new process. Would you be willing to put your price on your website and talk about who the best options in your market are outside of you? It's something we did, and I tell you, it was a little unnerving, but it will win confidence, and you can be the disruptor and go out and dominate your market by disruption and being the industry expert. So my challenge today is go out and make those videos. First draft is better than no draft, and that's why I love Facebook Live, because there's no editing it, and it's live and it's up there. So everybody have a great weekend here, and we'll see you back on the grind on Monday, making some video and kind of exposing some of the things we were lucky enough to get right in my business and some things we weren't, and how we overcame those to break that million mark and beyond. So just love sharing some of these lessons that I've learned on my own, and then from other industry experts that we've mingled with, especially even this week at GIE. So I want to say a big shout out to all the social media influencers and everybody over at Service Auto Pilots and their crew that were here. Just a great week. We're shot, so about to hop on the plane, so we'll see you guys Monday.